Hey guys, Lord here, back in with another action figure review. Today I'll be taking a look at the Spawn's Universe Deluxe King Spawn with Demon Minions. Brought to us by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys, as well as my good buddy Evil Villain. Been a while since you heard that name on the channel, eh? I mean, we did do a whole marathon of just stuff he hooked up for a while, but it's been a while, so in case you're not in the know, I'll leave a link in the description below so you can give him a follow over on Instagram. Head on over there, give him a follow, let him know Overlord sent you. But as always, don't be a jerk. I mean, really, because I will find you. You will not like the consequences, I assure you that. So, with all that being said, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review. Take a look, see at all the King Spawn has to offer in terms of accessories, because there's a lot. There's a lot. Starting off with the surprising addition of a collectible trading card in the box. Yeah, comes in one of those. How about that? There is a bio on the back that you can pause and read, because it is just a generic Spawn bio. It says Al Simmons was killed by some guy he knew and made a deal with a demon and became Spawn and made some friends and made some enemies and fight scary monsters and yada yada yada. If you know Spawn, you know darn well what goes on with Spawn. That said, he also comes with a crap ton of guns, starting off with the grenade launcher here, which I think came with the Grim Knight from DC Multiverse, if I'm not mistaken. We also have these guns, a bit of, I don't know, some kind of automatic gun. And, you know, shout out to my good buddy El Tenda. He knows a lot about this stuff, so if he could be so kind as to tell me what some of these are, that'd be nice. You got this one, another, you know, kind of automatic, kind of looks like an AK-47. Also got the another version of that. Now it looks like this is supposed to be some kind of handle you pull back. I don't know if that's snapped off or what, but it's awful short, and it does not feel like a chunk of schmutz. So I'll have to check the gun pack, because I think this is in there, and see if that's supposed to be longer, if it's maybe just a little bent. Maybe it's just a little bent, but either way, comes with one of those. Also comes with this shotgun here. You could give the Lobo if you wanted to. And we did look at that Lobo with the bike a while back. He's got this big Chungus gun. This is a Spawn gun. This is a freaking giant mamma jamma of a gun. Like, you ain't gonna mess with somebody packing that. And last but not least comes a warped ass Tommy gun. Now I heated this up and straightened it out, but it warped right back, so I'm gonna have to try that again. But I usually give this to Two-Face Batman. I think if you saw my review of that, I do have him holding it. But yeah, man, that's it for guns that this guy comes with. That said, I did mention something about some demon minions. He does come with 3 of those. First of which is this little skinny guy. And the arms do articulate on these. You can move them up and down. That's cool. He comes with that one. Comes with this one. He's kind of crawling. His arms move up and down. Like that. Kind of looks like he's got 4 arms. He's got 2 there, 2 there, and then he's got these weird back spider-like appendages and some weird kind of horns sticking off his head, and a horn sticking forward like the Violator. I don't know what's going on with him. He's the craziest looking one. And then we got this little Chungus one whose arm on this side was stuck on mine, but I managed to crack it and get it loose without snapping it, though I will say I was a little worried about doing that at first. I put some soap in there, kind of loosen it up, and it moves a little better now. It doesn't stick quite as much. And then the other arm, of course, moves as well. This is probably the coolest looking of the 3. I like this one the most, this kind of chunky looking one there. But that's your lot for the little demons that this guy comes with. So that is cool. And that pretty much wraps it up for accessories other than the hockey puck display stand we used to see with all McFarlane Toys releases. Away with you. And I gotta tell you, this is easily the best Spawn figure of 2023. That's when he came out, right before the end of the year. But I like this guy a lot. I like him a lot. He is awesome. He is imposing. He probably would have been better off as a Wings of Redemption figure for 25 bucks, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. That said, if they were going to make a Wings of Redemption Spawn, or, you know, a cheaper version of this guy, I don't think people would complain. I know one person in particular, why not Stein 41, the Strudel Man, who would probably really appreciate a Wings of Redemption Spawn built like this guy. I like the old one, and I kind of want to do a Throwback Thursday on that, but, you know, it's just not on the cards right now. We're still kind of playing catch-up from last year. I mean, this guy is from last year, but either way, he is freaking sweet. I will say, the wings are not as tight in the back as usual, and I don't know why that is. I don't know if Evil Villain wore them out, trying to pop them out, but I don't really care. They're not loose. They do hinge back and forward, but yeah, they are just kind of there. They're not really clicking like wings on McFarlane figures would. I don't know if this is a thing now, but they do articulate a little bit. They do have a ball hinge, and that kind of works, but kind of doesn't. It's just very minimalistic. It doesn't really matter that it's a ball hinge. You really just need them to go back and forward. And these wings, I think, are alright. I know some people prefer the Batman Who Laughs Sky Tyrant DC Multiverse's wings because they have articulation in the middle. And that is nice. You know, it does touch the ground as well, but those seemed really small. These are pretty decent sized wings, to me anyways, and I like them. I like the sculpt. I think they're fine. They look pretty decent. As far as the rest of the articulation goes, however, his head's on a double ball peg. He can look up pretty well, so you can get him in flight poses. That's not a problem. You can tilt side to side. You can rotate. His shoulders will go out, back down, rotate forward and back. He's got that butterfly kind of, sort of. And doesn't appear to be on the same body as the Throne Spawn, at least not to me. I want to say he is more or less the Mortal Kombat Spawn, at least in the torso. It seems like that torso with portholes in it, because the M is not as pinched as the Throne Spawn. But I could be wrong, you know. That said, he does have a bicep swivel that works pretty well. Double elbow, that works pretty well, although this side's got a big old chunky gauntlet on it, so if you wanted to get maximum range out of that, you're probably not gonna get that. There you go. Gets decent range, and it's not all chunky and cut up there. He does have the ball hinge wrist, so you can pose his hands correct for holding accessories. He's got the big blade on the gauntlet too. That thing looks tough. Yeah, I have to say, this does not feel like the same arm sculpt as the Throne Spawn. Like, especially the forearm, it's not the same. It is a little different. His torso, we'll move that far forward. My wrist will crack. We'll move that far back. And feels a little bit weak to me. Well, not that bad, I guess, but, you know, you leave it alone, it'll stiffen up, but it just feels kind of butter smooth, and I kind of not into that for torsos. I kind of wish they're just tight, but you know, if I do this and then bring this around like that and straighten him out, he's tight for the most part, so you know, it is what it is. He does have the ball jointed waist. That works pretty well. Does tilt back a little bit. And as far as the legs go, hips will kick out to the side about that far. Back down, forward and back. He does have a little thigh quiver in there, but not a ton. Double knee. There you go. Plenty out of that. No garish gaps or anything in there either, so that's nice. That's a plus. I will say you do got to bend the knee back one on the upper joint so it kind of syncs up better. But you also get the ball hinge in the foot with the toe joint. And again, he feels a lot more like the there's a rocker too, but on the boot foot it's practically useless. But he does feel a lot more like 11 Spawn as opposed to Throne Spawn. But I do have the 2-pack Spawn that came with that horrendous train wreck of a Batman. We will compare this guy to right quick. So there he is in all of his kingly glory. I guess you could potentially bring in the 2-pack Spawn. Move him over a little more. Jeez, and move him over, but maybe a centimeter. Maybe not even that. But comparing him to the 2-pack Spawn, which for a time was the best Spawn for the Spawn Universe line, aside from the crappy Batman he came with, it doesn't look like these two are the same body buck to me. I don't know why, but it just doesn't. But yeah, I guess you could do a head swap with this guy if you wanted to make a Wings of Redemption Spawn. That's an option for you. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep these guys as they are. I think King Spawn is fine as he is. I think he's awesome. He is definitely my favorite Spawn that came out last year. Even though I didn't get him until 2024. Those of you watching this in the future, that is. But before we wrap this thing up, why don't we bring in our 2 regulars? The Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulas, right there. And the infamous, as we've talked about him more than once, 11 Spawn. You could see that these two they feel like they share more parts. Especially when it comes to the texture of the skin, or his suit. This one is a little bit more smooth and glossy, whereas the 2-pack one, the one with the throne, those are matte. Very, very matte in comparison. And a little skinnier. And this guy just seems a little bulkier than those two. But maybe that's just me. So, with that being said, I think it is time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and despite the fact that most people would probably rather have an updated version of the Wings of Redemption Spawn, at least I know one person who would, I have to say that good old King Spawn here is by far one of the best offerings from the Spawn's Universe line in its entirety. I'm going to put him up against the likes of Violator, my possibly favorite figure in this whole line, because he's just that damn good. He comes with the 3 little demons, he comes with a gun pack, for crying out loud, and is based on the good old, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, 11 Spawn body buck, which has, in my opinion, better proportions than that of even the Throne Spawn and the Batman v Spawn 2-pack Spawn. This is just one of the best Spawn figures I think I've ever messed with. And I'm fully confident in saying that because I've messed with my fair share of Spawn figures. So let me tell you what. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.